Yeah, that's us. That's all.
I think we should stay on the side. I think in this country you need to fight for your president and avoid all harm and entanglement. Let the earth fight all that. They mean nothing to us.
Never before has our American civilization been in such danger as now.
German bombs threatening churches, schools, hospitals, and pilot lines.
He is the last and only barrier between the United States and the Cold War.
I'm okay to walk.
Okay.
the United States and open war.
In the phrase the Jewish party is phrase, stop agitating for war, I believe there will be no danger of our cause. If you believe that this country should not enter war, we have to join the American First Committee in its plan.
We cannot escape danger by crawling into bed and pulling the covers over our heads. We must prepare.
We're fathers. We don't want our boys to go to war.
We demand that Congress refrain from war, even if England is on the verge of defeat.
You want peace, but you want it the easy way. You want to go on leading your way of life, but you don't want to fight for it.
In 1941, Germany is advancing across Europe, while Japan expands its powers over vast stretches of Asia, with its eyes on the Pacific. Now, the United States stays out of the war, but imposes an oil embargo and freezes Japanese assets to cripple their war-making ability. To project strength, the year before, President Roosevelt moved the Pacific Fleet from San Diego to Hawaii, 2,000 miles closer to Japan. For the young American sailors, the war in Asia feels far away. They enjoy island life. In Washington, tensions mount as Japanese and American diplomats attempt a peace agreement. The Japanese military, however, has little interest in negotiating peace on this seemingly quiet Sunday morning.
I saw men all blown up, men with no legs on, men burned to death, men drowned in oil.
Two waves of Japanese planes attack American military installations at Pearl Harbor. In just 90 minutes, they sink or damage 21 ships and destroy 347 planes. Nearly 2,400 Americans are dead. Almost 1,200 wounded. The United States Pacific Fleet is decimated.
December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. I ask that the Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan On Sunday, December 7, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
Days later, Germany and Italy joined Japan by declaring war on the United States. The president's speech unites a previously divided nation, but the news only gets worse as Japan begins attack after attack in an attempt to dominate the Pacific.
And just now comes the word that a second air attack has been reported in Manila.
We have just received word here that Guam is in trouble.
The Japanese overrun American and Allied territories across the Pacific. Americans are terrified. Fear spreads. Japanese spies are presumed to be everywhere. New attacks imminent.
The Army announced tonight that unidentified planes were over at Los Angeles, and the planes have been sent aloft to determine if they were enemy aircraft.
Just 8 weeks after the attack at Pearl Harbor, a panicked nation rounds up its Japanese-American citizens and ships them off to internment camps. Japan continues its assaults in the Pacific as Americans tune in to follow the fate of their troops. The news from the Philippines isn't good.
They're not there yet. We are waiting for God only knows what.
A month later, the entire Philippines is lost.
Damage terrific. Too much for guys to take. The white flag is up.
The Japanese forced the surviving Americans and Filipinos on a brutal 5-day, 65-mile march. Thousands of POWs perish at the hands of their cruel captors during what becomes known as the Bataan Death March. On the other side of the world, things look equally dire. Germany has conquered most of Europe. Their U-boats dominate the Atlantic, sinking one helpless American merchant marine ship after another. The confident Germans even dare to stalk us in the Gulf of Mexico, hunt us off the coast of North Carolina, and chase us amidst the shadows of New York City. Until, by mid-1942, they have destroyed 500 of our ships. The situation is desperate. The United States is in danger of losing the war. A war America is ill-prepared to fight. What Americans do have, however, is resolve.
No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute.
Well, we're looking to so now she's talking.
Oh, they're gone.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, I saw all the emails go around. Remember, I was living through it. He recognizes that. Sure. Remember the end of the war. Germany. So we were back to 41.
What?
This is those things right there.
Here's this old Girl Scout and stuff.
Fake.
You need to get in here.
You're good.
You can do it?
You're good.
All right.
Don't mind the camera.
Just get my good side, that's all. Yeah.
See, everybody needs to sit and listen to the radio.
These are all old pictures of the world.
Yes, it is.
What's old is new?
He always told me it can't be in German.
I don't remember.
My dad would take me over.
To do what?
There was a prisoner of war camp in Geneva. The Germans were in the camp. My dad, being the doctor, would go over every 2 times a week and administer them. These guys came back from the Russian front. And they were, I don't think were as happy because they knew if they were still in Russia, they'd be dead. They had frostbitten hands.
But in Detroit, in 1943, tensions seared between white and black citizens over competition for jobs, housing shortages, and de facto segregation.
We are all Americans. My ancestry is, but I am an American. I was in the Sunday group class, and somebody said, "Is the friend after a house?"
Because he was near New Orleans.
But astonishing. At the outset, Roosevelt demanded what seemed like the impossible.
You're doing okay?
50,000 planes took part.
Yeah.
And Douglas factory, a B-17 rolls off the line every 90 minutes. 42,000 workers so the plant in 1944, American workers in WWII manufacturing 100,000 planes into ingenious new technologies. Assembly production. Prefabricated parts to assemble ships. And freight shipments soared 62% as more than 3.15 billion tons of cargo was transported for production.
I could have just been like, oh, our friends in there.
The goods are brought to seaport on the east and west coasts, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Great Lakes, where they're loaded onto ships operated by the Merchant Marine for delivery to our troops at war. Larger equipment, such as the thousands of bombers and fighter planes that roll out of factories, are express delivered to Army Air Force's processing bases by women air service pilots known as WASPs. These goods not only supply our troops, they keep our allies, Great Britain and the Soviet Union, in the fight. Stalin was deprived of the outlandish aid the Soviet Union gave itself. At home, the arsenal of democracy redefines the workplace, inspires technological innovation, and boosts the American economy at the great cost. The railroad delivered the arsenal to the passengers also known as city.
That was my father's favorite engine, the Packers. Yeah. So beautiful.
Manufacture weapons and supplies necessary. Higgins manufactures the landing ramp that when Brown Brothers build destroyer escorts. Kaiser uses Liberty He do love it when he goes into that dresses. You guys are shouting fans in Europe. Germany falls. The race for the bomb is over. However, war in the Pacific rages on. Japan refusing to surrender. Following the death of President Roosevelt in April, the new president, Harry S. Truman, learns about the atomic bomb project for the first time. Its fate now rests on him. At Los Alamos, designs are finalized. The Oak Ridge and Hanford plants have produced enough uranium and plutonium to produce a bomb of each kind. Researchers are confident that the uranium bomb, with its simple gun type of trigger mechanism, is going to work. But the plutonium bomb has a more challenging trigger design. An implosion that bursts inward to compress the plutonium until it explodes. This bomb requires testing. Preparations begin for detonation of the world's first nuclear weapon in the summer heat of the desert at Alamogordo, New Mexico. Inspired by the poems of John Donne, Oppenheimer names the test site Trinity. The boom is heard hundreds of miles away. The explosion, equivalent to more than 20,000 tons of TNT, creates a light so intense it causes temporary blindness as far as 9 miles away. The blast so hot, it scorches the desert floor, turning it into a glassy mineral, later named trinitite.
For a moment, I thought the explosion might set fire to the atmosphere and thus finish the Earth.
Most experiences in life can be comprehended by prior experiences. But the atom bomb did not fit into any preconceptions possessed by anybody.
We thought of Alfred Nobel and his hope, his vain hope that dynamite would put an end to wars.
The nuclear genie is out of the bottle, giving the Allies the most powerful weapon in human history. The question remains, will it force Japan's surrender?
Despite the danger, the merchant marine supports every amphibious landing, paving the way for the Allies' victory. The merchant marine suffers one of the highest casualty rates of World War II. But their bravery and tenacity fuel the Allies' hard-won victories in Europe and the Pacific, inspiring General Douglas MacArthur to state, "They brought us our lifeblood and paid for it with their own."
Our pilots must take control of the skies before we can advance our campaigns on land and at sea, so that our troops can undertake perilous amphibious landings and put out the Japanese. The road to Tokyo will range across the Pacific City, a theater of war, fast, unpredictable, and dangerous as it can be history.
Yeah.
The U.S. defeats powerful, ruthless enemy. How many years?
I like how it says left, right?
So they know.
Hold on.
In the months following Pearl Harbor, Admiral Tsutoku Yamamoto hatches a plan to win the war with one decisive battle. He believes that if he can lure the U.S. carrier fleet into open seas, Japan's overwhelming naval forces can ambush and destroy him once and for all. Will the Americans take the bait? Yamamoto reasons that unless he annihilates the American fleet quickly, the United States will ultimately defeat Japan. So he wagers the core of the Japanese Navy on one perilous roll of the dice. Yamamoto plans a surprise assault on the American base at Midway Island. This attack will then draw out the American fleet, which he will rout. The Japanese will go on to capture Hawaii and force the United States to negotiate for peace, leaving Japan with its conquests. There is just one hitch. Deep in the basement of a building in Hawaii, Lieutenant Commander Joseph Rochefort and his intelligence team have been piecing together bits of coded Japanese messages for weeks. Rochefort discerns that Japan's next target is encoded as AF, which he is sure means Midway Island. The leadership back in Washington, however, remains unconvinced. So Rochefort's team concocts a clever ruse. They transmit a fake message about a water shortage on Midway. The Japanese fall for the ploy and respond with their own message about water problems on AF, confirming the target is indeed Midway. With this information, Admiral Chester Nimitz conceives a daring plan of his own. He will risk all three of his remaining carriers in an all-out strike on the Japanese. Nimitz moves his fleet out of port and positions it not far from Midway for a counter-ambush. A miscalculation could cost Nimitz the heart of the Pacific Fleet, Midway, Hawaii, and perhaps the war. the other side, the U.S. must launch its first light defenses. The Americans intend to halt the Japanese advance and protect their allies by sending in the Marines to seize the airfield on Guadalcanal. No one expects this fight to last very long.
We were so young.
Their push across the South Pacific, taking island after island. Their objective is to isolate Australia and New Zealand by attacking supply lines coming from the United States. The first step in the Japanese strategy involves building an airfield on Guadalcanal to launch their air attacks. On the other side, the U.S. must launch its first land defense. The Americans intend to hold the Japanese advance and protect their allies by sending in the Marines to seize the airfield on Guadalcanal. No one expects this fight to last very long.
Amidst the battles with the Japanese, the men find themselves quietly fighting a second enemy in South Pacific. The elements of everyday life. The oppressive heat, overwhelming humidity, punctuated with torrential downpours, can turn living in the jungle into a debilitating function. With these young Americans, the island...
After the Allies blunt Japanese aggression,
I'd get in a closet with a cane and put a chair up there with rungs, $10. I was only 5 and 30.
Can you mention Audrey Brian?
Cold.
No heaters, no insulation.